Meantime, our next guest is an airline analyst who recently took a round-trip flight from JFK to Cancun in order to see for himself what changes have been made at airports and on planes and how guests are reacting. Stephen Trent is airline analyst at Citi. Good morning to you, Stephen. Tell us about the experience. What was the biggest surprise, biggest takeaway?
Yes, good morning, and thank you for having me. So I would say one of the biggest surprises is the level of comfort was not that horrible. I was expecting to be in pain and have marks on my face for wearing a face mask for 6 hours, to have people maybe act kind of paranoid if you get too close to them. There wasn't any of that. And the feel in the airport was also relatively normal. I would say both airports, JFK and Cancun. And with the exception of fewer people in the airport, walking through a thermal scanner in Cancun on the way down and on the return trip, the airport experience and the onboard experience were both more normal than I'd anticipated.
Okay, so the takeaway from that, though, as somebody who advises investors as to whether to buy these stocks, was what? So I think the takeaway is people are still going to get to their desired destinations, and the strictures that are in place are not enough to stop travel. So business travel coming back, that's going to take time. Certainly, many people are not even back in their offices, let alone on planes. But from a personal travel perspective, there seems to be growing evidence, as your previous guest highlighted, that a growing number of people are getting more comfortable taking personal trips, whether that's because of religious or political beliefs, or because maybe they have some antibody protection or have greater faith in having a contactless journey. I think it's a good signal that the airlines are sending that they want to make journeys as contactless as possible. I would say that's one of the reasons the TSA daily numbers are above 300,000 again, when they bottomed in mid-April around 87,000.
Hey, Stephen, if we are looking at consumers slowly, thanks. If we are looking at consumers slowly starting to come back, but business travel being off a long way, just break down what the profitability for each of those classes is for the airlines, because I thought business travelers were where they made most of their money.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, business travel, whether it's business travel in the business class cabin or it's a business traveler on a fully flexible coach ticket, those are indeed much stronger price points. So when we think about the cadence of the recovery, it's our view that personal travel comes back first. So this will potentially put some pressure on passenger yields. But at some point later this year, perhaps early next year, as business travel starts to spool up again, and you have underlying non-business travel demand starting to exceed lower rebased capacity, that is indeed a place where the group can start to test higher fares. Now, from a profitability perspective, certainly some of that is going to take a while to come back because business travelers are a big force.